It's Yasha Saba from Sky Unlimited Legal Advisory, skyunlimited.law. I'm here at lunch with my dad right now. Don't know if...
Hello.
Say hi. He's been gracious enough to let me answer your questions during our Ask Me Anything. So I'm just going to do it really quick, just a few minutes, and then we'll see you next week. So first question that came to us last week: what happens to my online assets if I die and forget to include my logins in my plan? So digital assets here. Will my family be able to get all my online assets? This is very complicated, and it's getting more complicated now as we go digital. Right now, on average, each one of us have about 120 digital accounts. Okay, so I have a Facebook, an Instagram, maybe some bank accounts. I don't know where the other 120 is. Do you got some Bitcoin? I know maybe I do. But all these accounts, they all have their own terms of services and privacy policies. So what that means is it's not really up to you. I mean, you can leave some note in your trust or your will, letting your executor or your trustee have the right and authority to manage your digital assets. But if those terms of service agreements with the different digital accounts say no, then that's fine. So for instance, Facebook allows you to decide. You can appoint an agent. You can have your account be enshrined or deleted. But if all this, Facebook doesn't have to listen to what your trust says. Facebook says, sorry, it's what our terms of services says. So for instance, Google, your regular Gmail account, they say, no, we don't share that access with anybody, sorry. So the moment something happens to you, if you don't have your passwords and screen names written down somewhere that people can get access to, there's a chance that those digital files, those digital records will be tied up within those servers, and the company does not have an obligation to share that with you. Now, there's a new startup coming out in California called Directive Communication Services, DCS. I mean, not California, Canada. And they are building partnerships with these companies, and we're trying to integrate our firm with them to be able to allow you to go and list all the digital accounts that you have and say, who do you want being in charge of those accounts? And this is all confidential. So this way, when something happens to you, DCS will go in and notify all the third-party vendors that you have accounts with and do whatever it is that they allow you to do. Enshrine your account, delete your account, transfer the account over to other people. So with regards to bank accounts though, instead of sharing your password and screen name of your bank account, you really should just be changing title of the account over to your trust. That way if something happens to you, we don't even care what your screen name and password is. We could just go to the bank and fix that for you. All right, so next question. My family hates me. I'm not gonna say who this person is, but this is sad. My parents have hated me and have stated in their plan that they do not want me to inherit a single penny, and that when they die, their assets will be divided 70-30 between my brother and their charity, leaving nothing to me. Do I still have the right to get my inheritance? So, I'm not going to say who this is, but you know I'm speaking directly to you. I'm very sorry about your family situation and that you don't have a good relationship with your parents. But listen, your parents have a right to disinherit you, whether in their will or their trust. So if you don't have a good relationship with them and they don't want you inheriting any of their assets, there's nothing you can do about it. You can create a ruckus. You can try and challenge their trust, challenge their will. But if you're really just spending more money and you're sending your own brother into a court battle with you because you're disturbing what he's going to inherit. And guess what? When your parents leave money for charities, if you try to challenge the will or the trust, the state attorney general is going to get involved. It's going to cost you more time, more conflict, more money in court. I'd rather you forget about how much money you're going to inherit from your parents. Frankly, we should never think that way about inheriting from our parents. That's just something that we're fortunate to do if our parents have assets to leave us. But why don't you spend this time while your parents are still alive rebuilding your relationship? And I know that's not as easy as it sounds, but that's something that we all just have to live with. The whole reason we inherit is because these people are the ones that they love us. And if your relationship over time has gone south with your parents, there's a reason why they're doing this. And hopefully it's not because they're being spiteful. But I honestly wish you the best. And I recommend that you just try rekindling the relationship and don't even think about inheritance or worry about stuff like that. Finally, next question. Oh, my notes just went away. Hold on, you guys. Okay, here we go. What type of lawyer do I need if the executor of my mother's estate is not cooperating with me? So this person's mother passed away a few years ago, and the executor, I believe, is one of the mother's brothers, her uncle, and it seems the daughter of the mom is not being able to communicate with the uncle about it. So my mom died 2 years ago, and the sister, excuse me, not the uncle, aunt. My mom's sister is the executor, but she never been cooperating. She doesn't want to let me know what's going on. There was an additional property that has been sold after my mother's passing, but I don't know who sold it. So first thing, are you a beneficiary of your mom's estate? If you're a beneficiary, then you have a right to see the trust, if you're a beneficiary of the trust, or the will, if you're the beneficiary of the will. So that's where you first start. By starting there, it dictates all the obligations. So if it's an executor, mom had a will then, because it's not a trustee. So you can look for a probate lawyer or any estate planning attorney, usually one that but does litigation. For instance, my firm, we're partial litigation. We don't go into full litigated battles, but we help people in probate, in court. So find someone that has had litigation experience and ask them to help you to reach out to the executor and ask for a copy of the will, which you have a right to have under most state laws. You're in California, and I know in California, you most certainly have a right to have a copy of that will. So right once you get that, then the executor is forced to show you what their obligations are, and you can work your way from there. If the executor is not following their fiduciary responsibility, you can make a petition within probate court asking the judge to force the executor to do what they're supposed to do, or asking the judge to appoint someone else as executor. There's a lot more that you can do going into nuance there, but I think I'm going to leave it at that to keep things simple. And if it gets more complicated, go ahead and send me a question and we'll tell the whole world the answer. All right, you guys, there's just 3 questions this week. Of course, if any of you have any more questions, you're more than welcome to comment within the chat box, or just let me know via email, ysaba@skyunlimited.law, and I'll answer them in next week's meeting. I wish you all the best. Enjoy your weekend. Take care.